Hi there, this is Bethany Barnard from Stamping in the Barnyard, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I'd like to welcome you to 12 weeks to a Wow Christmas with Bethany and Lela. This project is actually our 12th project. Christmas is just a week away, but this project is definitely not limited to Christmas. It's a great project when you're short on time before Christmas though, because it comes together very quickly. And if you are like me, you have lots of people on your list who'd like a gift card for Christmas, or money. Money would fit in here as well. But look at this beautiful lined envelope that you get for this gift card. And then you can add this place to put the to from and another message inside it. Great for Christmas. I've sized this to fit in our envelopes. But there's also this one that I did for a wedding, which, as I said, this can be used year-round. I've used the Peaceful Moments stamp set to stamp wishing you every happiness this special day will bring, and I used the Poppy Moments dies and the foil paper and the smoky slate cardstock because I thought it went so well with this special day foil. Last week's project, week 11 of this series, I showed you how to make a beautiful box using this special day designer series paper, foil paper. It's so beautiful, and the box was just a pretty box to hold shower melts or shower steamers, whatever you want to call them. And again, that box could be used year-round as well. But this paper is still available, but it's only available till about the 4th of January, and it may run out before then because they have this marked down for $6. It's such a great buy, so I hope you'll consider that before the end of the month. But you can see that this just looks so beautiful for a wedding, and you have the opportunity to not only put this verse in the flower, but then you can write a sweet message here for the bride and groom, and then you have a place here to put a gift card for them, or money, or a check, or whatever it is you'd like to give to them. So I think it's just so pretty with the basic pearls, the foil, and then this white glittered organdy ribbon. But you can use this project measurements and idea that I'm about to share with you for a graduation or a birthday or any time that it's appropriate or that you're wanting to give a gift card. And I just think it's a great use of our Slimline envelopes, which these are great for our Slimline cards, but I just wanted to show you that it comes in the soft succulent, the smoky slate, the basic white, and you can make these great gift card holders as well. And earlier, in one of our earlier weeks, we shared with you how to make a holder for the fork, knife, spoon, and napkin at a Christmas table. And you can get 2 of these from one envelope. You can see that. And then we shared this with the napkin and the fork, knife, and spoon in it, but also there was a place card holder as well and a little chocolate thing. So I hope you'll check out that week as well. It's another great use of these Slimline envelopes. So we're going to get started. And so the first thing you're going to need is that Slimline envelope. I am going to put the measurements for everything that you'll need in the description. So I'll share the measurements as they come up, but I'll also have them written there. But I'm not going to give you all of that. I'm going to go straight into how we make this project. So the first thing that you want to do, and this is where, as I said earlier, I sized this to fit in the envelope. You do not have to. If you want it longer than this, then that's your option. But what I did was on my Simply score at 6 1/8. So Slimline envelope from the sealed end, this is the sealed end, this is the opened end. At 6 1/8, you're gonna score, and then you're gonna turn it over and you're gonna score it again because you're really going through 2 lines, right? Okay, now you could, see if we fold this back now here, that's basically how we get it. But I then cut off 3/4 of an inch more on the end that's sealed. so that it would fit in one of our envelopes. If you're not planning to put it in an envelope, you can just keep it at this size. But I am gonna cut it down because I do want to be able to put mine in an envelope. So I'm gonna get my cutter out here, and as I said, on the end that's already sealed, let's take this off. These are the measurements I've already shared, or you can get a picture of it. So on the end with this seal, I'm gonna put this in right at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm gonna run this up and down a couple times because I know it's going through 2 layers, but that worked. I've cut that off. And then what I do is I just use a little bit of glue and I wanna reseal that. If you wanted to add 3 notes, I suppose there's some way you could do that. But I promised you that this would be a quick and easy project, and so that's what I'm working on here. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of glue right at the top here, and then I'm gonna just hold that down. In fact, I'll probably use this just to catch any of the glue that might ooze out, but it doesn't look like any is. So then that's nice and sealed shut tightly. And then I want to use my bone folder, which should be right here. Here it is, because you really do want to get this to fold back nicely here. Okay, so that's the basic start of what you're doing here. The other things that you will need is, first we're going to decorate it, and I'm using this textured chic. I don't know if you've noticed it, it's in the annual catalog, so you'll get it year round. It's got 2 sides that are, one side has this gold foil in it, which is beautiful in and of itself, but the other side of all of them have one side that has the gold foil in it, the other side has the 4 seasons. And so this would be the Christmas one or the winter one because it's got snowflakes all over it. So I've decided to use that, and it's available year round, and you're gonna need 2 pieces that are 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. And so what we're gonna do now, I cut this one a little bit shorter because it saved me on my paper, but you're gonna see that if I put that in here, I'm gonna seal this and you wouldn't see what's down there. You could even cut that a little bit smaller, but it's just easier to tell you. If you have 2 that are 3 5/8 by 5 1/4, then you will be able to do both this inside and the back of the envelope. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna go ahead and glue those and put those on. And I just use my trusty liquid glue, and I make sure that I cap it. Some people think, well, you can cap it at the end of the project, but honestly, you really need to cap it in between every time that you take that cap off, because this glue really will start to dry up very quickly, which is good. It gives you that time to give it a little bit of movement as you're sizing it onto your card, but also it means it's gonna stick fairly quickly as well. So now we're gonna do the inside. I'm trying much harder to get my projects to stay within the view of the camera. That's one of the things I'm working on. But it does take it so much further away from my eyes and my ability to see what I'm doing here. So pick it up and have a look. That looks good. So now in here, there's another piece of the same paper, and it's cut at 3 5/8 by 2 inches. And we're gonna put that right here. I hope that you can see just how quickly this project comes along. I do want to share with you some other virtues to this paper or project, but I don't know if I'll be able to come up with all of the things I had hoped to tell you and focus on getting the project done. But you can see, so you have those cut. In fact, if you cut a long piece at 3 5/8 and then cut 2 of them at 5 1/4, that would take up one strip of the 3 5/8, and then you could cut another piece that's just 2 inches by 3 5/8, and then you would have all 3 pieces that you need for this. Okay, so then we're gonna close this. Now, if you wanted to be sure, you could use the tear and tape here. I still am more comfortable with the liquid glue, but I keep it right close to the margin so that I know that even as that glue spreads, it's not gonna interfere with the card that we put inside the fold. So I'm gonna, again, this will just show you how quickly that glue dries. And even if it doesn't dry all the way, if you don't put that cap back on, it will slow the flow of the glue for you on future projects. So you might have a bottle that you think is pretty full, but it won't come out very quickly, and that'll be because you're not capping it so quickly. So that was quick, was it not? Okay, so then I've used a piece of the Shimmery White that is 3 by 4 3/4. And I am going to decorate this, and I'm gonna start by, I'm using the 2 colors, Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen. I love these 2 colors together. They're both in colors. They may disappear. Well, I mean, I guess they are going to disappear because this is the 2nd year of them. So at the end of this annual catalog, they will not be available anymore unless for some reason they decide to shake up our colors and include them. They have done that before, but I don't know of that happening. So I'm starting by just stamping the Merry Christmas in there. And then I did, because I'm using, this is a great set. It's Celebrate with Tags, and it is carrying over. It's been in our mini, but it's carrying over, and it makes tags. And I used this a few weeks back for stocking stuffers for a little cat and dog. You can use it for birthdays, Valentine's Day, for the winter. It's got Made with Love, Happy Birthday to From. So we're going to be using some of these stamps. In fact, we're going to be stamping the To From on here. But also in the dies, in addition to a gift card holder and a tag that it makes, there is this die for a snowflake. And given that this paper has snowflakes all over it, I cut out a snowflake from silver foil, and we're going to put that on. But before we do, so I cut that out of this piece of foil, and I'm going to take my blending brush and the Soft Succulent ink, and you can see that I'm going to just use this as a template to do a little bit of soft snowflakes in this same Soft Succulent color in the background here. Excuse me. I'm excited because in the new catalog coming up, we're going to have these mini brushes, and I think that'll be perfect for what I'm trying to do here today, but I don't have those yet, but I should be getting them soon. Excited of having a new catalog come out, but you see how that comes up. And these, so use your dies sometimes for these nice little for these, when they make it a full, I guess what I'm trying to say is when they're not just outlines, but they actually cut out a design that would be nice on here. So I'm just using it as a template. Let's see, I'm gonna stick this one here. but I still want to have one more, and I'm going to try not to put too much over the words, but I think it'll be okay to have a very light bit here. But you do want to make sure that you get the whole snowflake as you do that. But there you go. And then I kind of feel like, is that going to work? Do I want one more? You know how that is. You do one more and it's too much. I think I just don't know. Anybody in the audience want to give me some advice? I think I do want to put just a hint of one here. There we go. Well, that was a little bit more than a hint, but that'll work. And then I'll put this on, and I think that'll work. That's nice. So next, I want to use the Evening Evergreen again, and that's to do the To From, which comes from that same set that has this snowflake die in it, which is Celebrate with Tags. And I'm just going to put the To From. There we go. And this should now go right into this here. I haven't put that snowflake on yet, but you can see that once it's in there, the Merry Christmas shows right there in the center. But first, I am gonna back it on some of the Evening Evergreen, which is what we stamped it in. And this is at 3 1/4 by 5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to adhere the snowflake. I have some children that are newly married and young kids, and so gift cards to eat out at a restaurant are very welcomed. I have a son who flies in for Christmas, and he doesn't want to take a lot back on the plane, so he'd really rather have, and he needs the money because he's young too and just starting out in life. So gift cards are really a big part of my gift giving to my children. Even if it's not the entire part, it's a big part of it. I should tell you that I did use our adhesive sheets, which are so great. And I put them on the back of the foil before I cut these out. So now I just have to pull off the backing here. Which, there we go. And that way they're already sticky on the back to be able to put this on. Now it's not just that I don't mind it hanging off, but I actually like it if it goes over onto this green bit as well. You just don't want to cover up your words. Merry Christmas. And so there we have it. You just put this inside, right? Now, what I liked after that is I used the iridescent rhinestones, which I think are so pretty, and I should be using my take your pick tool, but I did not bring that here. Yep, this will work, okay. So I'm gonna put this right in the center of my snowflake to give that a little bit of glitter, but I also like to draw attention to this because that's where the gift card is and where I want them to look for the gift card. So I wanna put a little bit of design here, see? So I use a big rhinestone here, and I'm gonna put that more or less in the center at the bottom here. And then I like to put one on either side and just a little bit up from from there. I mean, it is Christmas, so you have to make it a little bit sparkly, right? And snowflakes and everything. I think that's great. So that kind of mimics what's going on up here as well. And I think it draws the attention to the flap so that you'll lift it up. And then all we have left to do now is to tie the white glittered organdy ribbon, which by the way, I thought it's the same ribbon that I used on the wedding one. And I think it's very pretty on this. And it's also in the annual catalog. So this paper's in the annual catalog. Everything is going to be available for several months now until we get the new annual catalog. This is 20 inches of ribbon. And as I said, I used the glittered organdy because again, I think it mimics the iridescent rhinestones here and just the idea of snowflakes. But you could use a plain white, or we have both the green and the soft succulent and the evening evergreen available to match it up. And I hope that you can see that with these measurements and those 3 options, smoky slate, basic white, and soft succulent, you can make a host of these gift cards using an assortment of available designer series papers. But I cannot stress enough how beautiful that special day designer series paper is and how beautiful those gift card holders are for a wedding. And how nice those boxes were that we made last week. Now that was a video that I really ended up being out of the camera shot quite a bit. And I'm really working on that. And if I have the chance, I'm actually gonna refilm those boxes using that paper. But the problem is that I have several children coming in and grandchildren coming in for Christmas, so I don't know how realistic. Now I've got this ribbon, not wanting to, this is the first time I've had real trouble with ribbon on here. And I don't really want to take that sparkle out that's in it. So I don't know why that's sticking up so much. That's too funny. All right, I'm gonna try that again. And I know some of you out there are laughing at me having so much trouble with that ribbon. But again, as I've said on other projects, it's nice for you to see that it doesn't all go smoothly for us all the time either. I think sometimes these videos make it look easier than it necessarily really is to us because we film it and we may restart the film or whatever to show you. But there, yes, that's cooperating a lot more. So I just love this ribbon. I love this, how this all comes together. I know it would be just as beautiful with other designer series paper and other other options of designer series paper out there. And really you can just, I'm trying to decide just how far up do I want that bow. Anyway, I just think there's so many options of how you can make this gift card holder. And I just think it's quick, it's easy. Look how quickly that came together. And as I said, I can just use this envelope here, but this will fit right inside one of our envelopes. Just in time for Christmas. Think of how many of these you can make up. Do not neglect our Slimline envelopes because they do a great job of making these gift card holders. Thanks for watching.